In today's video, we're diving into a head-to-head comparison of two of the most talked about AI coding tools this year, Base44 and Replit. If you're wondering which tool will actually help you build software faster, smarter, or more reliable in 2025, you are in the right place. We will compare features, ease of use, code quality, collaboration, pricing, and real-world fit. I'm actually going to put both of them to the test and have both of them build out two different things with the exact same prompt. First, a landing page, and second, a CRM for real estate. I'll show you exactly what both of them build, so watch the video till the end to figure out which is the best one for you. So the first thing that I'll have them build out is a model landing page for our new productivity app called Focus Flow. I have described what I wanted to build with the hero section, a feature section with 3 cards and icon, a simple pricing section with free pro and business plans, and a footer with social link and contact information. Make it clear, responsive, and visually appealing. I'm going to give both of them this exact prompt to see how well they work. So I'll also show you how fast they are. So click Start, Chat, and here click Send. So now they are both building on Base44. You can see what exactly it's doing. It will tell you what it will build with the key features. It shows you the design language and the component structure. Then here you have Replit, where it will also give you the plan. Now you can choose a change to plan, which is a pretty cool feature, but in this case, I'm just going to click Start with the design and click Start Designing. Now Base44 is already finished. You can see what it has built right here with the different cards. Then you have the pricing and then the footer right here with the social links and contact information. So in terms of speed, in this case, Base44 was a bit quicker. Now the animations looks absolutely beautiful, but there are some issues. For example, right here there are no icons, and here you have Watch Demo, but you can only see if you hover over it. So those are some things that will need to be fixed. Now on the other side you can see Replit generated an image of modern productivity workspace for the heroes. Now it's about a minute later, you can see that the Replit is still building. But after a few minutes, right here you can see you also have the landing page for Replit. In the front page of Replit, you can see it says, Master your productivity with Focus Flow. On the other side, in Base44, it says, Unlock your peak productivity. Now that's pretty insignificant, but it's mainly about the design right here. Now this text is not very readable. If you scroll further down, I'll just compare to the right one here. So this right here in the Base44 with a nice animation like this over here. But in Replit, the upside is they did add an icon, although that's pretty simple edit. You can just tell it add the icons. But as for the design, I think that Base44 does look a little bit better. Then you have the pricing right here. So the 3 pricing plans that I have asked for, those look quite similar to me. So the free plan right here, they have the pro plan. Now I do think this button is a bit better. It's just a little bit easier to see. And the most popular thing also looks better than the most popular text right here. And then the business plan here. The button is again a lot easier to see with a black background compared to just the same background as the rest. And then you have the footer, which is again pretty similar. Now I'm going to give them one follow-up prompt to show you how well they follow up. In Base44, in the bottom left corner of the screen, you have to enter the prompt. For both of them, I'm going to give the same prompt. Improve the landing page, add customer testimonial, add FAQ, and many more. You can use the prompt right here. I'll give the same prompt to Replit as well. In the bottom left corner, simply paste the prompt and then click on Send. Now you have to wait for a while for it to complete. Once this, I'll have to actually build out a full CRM with functionality, so you can see how well they are at that. So both of them finished after about 1 minute. Now on Focus Flow, you can see it didn't actually change the hero section that much. And here you have the features and then testimonials. You can see the images are kind of stretched, which makes it look a bit odd. Then on Base44 right here, it did change the hero quite a bit. And if you scroll further down, you will find the testimonials here. Once again, I think The Base44 looks better than Replit. Here you can see the pricing and here the FAQs. Those look pretty similar, although here again, this design is just better than this. So overall, the design on Base44 are usually better than on Replit. But now, to really put them to the test, I'm going to have both of them build out a real estate CRM. So this right here is the prompt. Design a CRM for real estate agents. Should manage property listings and client interactions. Include these features right here. You can read it if you want. And geolocation mapping for properties. Now again on Replit, you have a choice you can make. You can build the entire app, so best if you want agent to build out the full functionality of your app. But you can also start with a design. I'm gonna click on Start Designing. And in Base44, it did also build a fully functional app. So while Replit is building, I'll show you what Base44 did. Again, with the exact same prompt, for design a CRM for real estate agent, you can see it has added the navigation menu right here. The name in this case, State Flow. You can see the total properties, active clients, reminders, commission, and also map viewing. Now, if I go to properties, you can see everything works. You will have your own properties right here. You can also see the property types that has been added, the square footage, and everything else that needs to be entered, as well as the property images and description. And if I go to properties, I can also add a new property by just adding those same details. You can see some of it is required, other things are not. So just add the address and pricing. Then in clients, you can find your clients right here. Then within commissions, you can see total earned, pending, and total deals. So if you click add commission, you can select a property. For example, this one right here, as well as the sell price and the commission rate. Then it calculates the commission amount automatically. For example, if 3.5%, it will update it. Then the closing date right here and the status, and they can add any notes. If I add commission, it will be added to total earned or pending, and the total deals will be updated. So it's a very simple CRM, but it does what it needs to be done. You can build it up more if you want to. Then you can also go to the dashboard right here, where you can find all of your users. You can also invite users. You have your data such as property data, client data, viewing data, and commissions. You have analytics, so you can see the top pages, top users, and total unique users. You can connect a domain. For this, you will need to have a pay plan. You can manage your security, and importantly, you can also get your code right here. Well, if you go back and head over to settings, you can see authentication and email and password. You can also set up single sign-on, and overall, it all functions very well. And then for the app information, for example, if I want to edit logo, I can just click on edit logo. Then here upload a logo, or I can also generate a logo. Now I'll just wait for Replit to finish up to really compare the two and ultimately decide which one is the winner here. So finally, we actually have a preview of Replit. It's about 20 minutes later, and for Base44, it just took 5 minutes. So if you look into the speed, Replit definitely is not for you, but overall, it is pretty good, and you can see here, you have the dashboard, properties, clients, calendar, map view, and commission. Now overall, the layout is pretty much the same as on Base44. Now it's not totally fully built. For example, the page isn't really loading because it hasn't built it out yet. It does have, for example, a quick action section, recently activity, and upcoming viewings. You can also search through properties here. You can see a map with the property locations or a list. Now all of this can also be built out using Base44, but the fact that Replit just built it out itself is pretty helpful. You also have your notifications, and if you click add property, you can just add the property in here and then click on add property. After that, in the map view, you can see the location of all of the properties, and in calendar, you can see your viewing calendar. So when you have upcoming viewings in clients, you can see all of your clients, and overall, it's very similar to Base44. As I said, but it has built out a few more features, although again, personally, I do prefer the design on Base44. So front end, I think Base44 is really unbeatable, but in terms of features that it builds out on its own, Replit does win there. But I do think that both of them would build this out. Replit of course can because they did, but with Base44, if you ask it to build an interactive map, it will build an interactive map and both of them can do that. But in my opinion, which one creates the better front end? Now by no means does Replit look bad, but I do still think that Base44 is better at building front end. So as for which one I would pick, here's how I would basically decide. If you don't really have a very good idea of exactly how you want to build out your app yet, then personally I would go with Replit because it will just implement a bunch of features that you may not have thought of yourself. But if you are looking to build the best looking app and you do have a plan for the features and you want to include and exactly how your app needs to look and feel, then personally I would go for Base44. In my opinion, it creates better looking pages and apps. So again, if you are looking to build out a full app and you are not sure what features you want to include, and you would like to have the tool you are using to just build out a bunch of stuff and you can then later remove things. If you want to, then in that case, I would just go with Replit. So that concludes this comparison of Base44 versus Replit. If this comparison helped you, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. With that being said, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.